Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak.
Do you prefer learning new skills through watching tutorials or reading instructional guides? Explain your preference with appropriate examples and reasons.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
Personally, I prefer learning new skills by watching tutorials rather than reading instructional guides. Watching tutorials helps me see how things are done step by step, and I can follow along easily. For example, when I wanted to learn how to cook a new dish, I found a video tutorial online. The chef in the video showed me exactly how to chop the vegetables and cook the dish. It was much easier for me to learn this way than trying to understand written instructions. Watching tutorials also allows me to see the final result, which motivates me to learn and improve. Overall, I find that tutorials provide a more practical and engaging way to learn new skills.
Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between two people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between two people.
Thank goodness the department has made changes to the way they assess group work. I had a nightmare last term with our geology project. I couldn't bear going through that again.
Why? What happened?
Well, there were 3 of us in the group. One guy worked really hard, but he didn't trust anyone else to do anything. He just wanted to do it all himself.
It sounds like you were freeloading.
Well, I wasn't. I offered up plenty of ideas, but he kept saying they were no good. In the end, I stopped trying and left it to him. The other guy was a waste of space. He didn't pull his weight at all. We barely saw him.
Did you get a good grade?
A reasonable one, considering how little work I did. But I'm sure I'd have done better if I'd been given the chance to say what I wanted.
Well, the new system should give you that opportunity.
Yeah, I hope so. Though I wish they'd abolish group work altogether. All this organization and communication is just a waste of time. It's got nothing to do with geology.
The man expresses his opinion of group work. State and explain his opinion. Compare his opinion with the opinion of the geology faculty.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The man in the conversation has a negative opinion of group work. He had a bad experience in the past with a group project in geology. One member of his group wanted to do all the work by himself and didn't trust anyone else. The other member didn't contribute at all. The man felt frustrated and stopped trying because his ideas were constantly rejected. He believes that he would have done better if he had been given the chance to express his ideas. He even wishes that group work could be abolished because he thinks that organizing and communicating with others is a waste of time and not related to studying geology. In comparison, the geology faculty acknowledges the problems with group work but believes that there are benefits to be gained from it, such as self-organization and communication skills. Therefore, they plan to introduce a new system where the group work itself is not assessed, but each student will have an individual piece of work based on the group project to ensure active participation.
Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
Let's take Australia as an example. Traditionally, in Australia, it was common to find nuclear families, typically a mother, a father, and children. However, over the decades, trends show a significant shift in the composition and size of the Australian family. The changes in the laws with regards to same-sex marriage, disposable income, women's liberation movement, technology in terms of the ease of divorce and contraception, and migration led to diversity in family structures. Australia witnessed more single-parent families, childless couples, blended families, and same-sex families. Social issues such as domestic violence, mental health, and divorce rates began to shape the very structure of the family unit. These changes mirror the larger societal transformations in attitudes towards marriage, childbearing, and gender roles in the society. As societies continue to evolve, the structure of the family will adjust accordingly, reflecting the complexities and the diversity of the society at large.
How does the professor's example of recent family developments in Australia illustrate the concept of societal changes influencing family structures?
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The professor gives the example of recent family developments in Australia to show how societal changes can affect the structure of families. In the past, Australia mainly had nuclear families with a mother, father, and children. However, various factors such as changes in laws, income, women's rights, technology, and migration have led to different types of families in Australia. These include single-parent families, childless couples, blended families, and same-sex families. The professor explains that these changes in family structure are a reflection of larger changes in society's attitudes towards marriage, having children, and gender roles. This example demonstrates that as society evolves, the structure of the family will also change to accommodate the complexities and diversity of the society.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
Today, we are learning about plate tectonics. Now, this is a scientific theory describing the large-scale movements of 7 large plates and the movements of a larger number of smaller ones of the Earth's lithosphere. Over geologic time, these plates move and interact in a number of ways, which causes various geologic activities. Convergence is one such process. When 2 plates move towards each other, they can either cause one plate to move under the other, a process called subduction, or both plates can rise upwards, resulting in the formation of mountain ranges. For example, the Himalayas were formed due to the convergence of the Indian and Eurasian plates. Divergence, on the other hand, happens when 2 plates gradually move apart. This causes gaps wherein magma from below the Earth's crust rises up to fill these gaps, thus forming new crust upon solidification. This results in creation of new ocean floors, mid-ocean ridges, and rift valleys. For instance, the East African Rift Valley was formed due to the divergence of the African plate. Apart from these, plates may also slide past each other, a process called transform movement. This causes earthquakes. One example is the San Andreas Fault in California, which is a result of the Pacific Plate sliding past the North American Plate.
Explain how plate tectonics affect Earth's geological features as mentioned in the lecture.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
According to the lecture, plate tectonics is a theory that explains the movement of large and small plates on Earth's lithosphere. These plates can cause different geological activities. When 2 plates move towards each other, one plate can go under the other, which is called subduction. Or both plates can rise upwards, forming mountains, like the Himalayas. When 2 plates move apart, magma rises up to fill the gaps, creating new crust and ocean floors. This leads to the formation of mid-ocean ridges and rift valleys, such as the East African Rift Valley. Plates can also slide past each other, causing earthquakes. The San Andreas Fault in California is an example of this. In summary, plate tectonics affect Earth's geological features by creating mountains, forming new crust, and causing earthquakes.